Hello everyone, good morning. Alrighty, so today we're going to talk about bushwalk. I'm in the state of New South Wales and we'll take a bushwalk. Now, when we talk about bushwalk, you might be wondering, we'll be going deep into the jungle. It would be a camping trip for a couple of days in the outback, and it will require, of course, a lot of planning and organization. But today I'm going to do the exact opposite. Okay, the trail that I'm going to take is very close to like the residential places. So pretty much any time of the day you can come here and enjoy a beautiful walk, whether it's morning or afternoon or evening. Well, evening is probably not the best time, obviously, because as you can see there are lots of bushes and rocks. And talking about rocks, the first thing you need is a very good pair of shoes, but we'll get into that in a minute. So any time of the day, morning time is probably the best time, and of course afternoon as well, but I wouldn't probably come here when it's dark, obviously because of the safety reasons. So now let's talk about the shoes, because that would be the first thing you need to consider. So what kind of shoes? Now this is a very ragged, very rocky terrain, and as such you would need a very good pair of shoes. Usually the work shoes are the way to go. The shoes like that has good grip, those would be my preferred shoes. But again, comfort comes first. Safety comes first, then comes comfort. So I would personally go for the work shoes. They are slip resistant, they have very good grip, and of course they are they are not too terrible when it comes to the comfort. So here I'm in kind of like one of these rocks is kind of flat. So as I'm here, you can see, like, I'm here to show you, just to give you a sense of the space. So there are lots of rocks that are lined up, and right behind me, right 100 meters, could be 200, 150, 200 meters, there is a river as well. And so this is kind of marshy, kind of wet land, whatever. So yeah, this is kind of to show you so that you can get a sense of the space, the terrain that I'm about to explore. So lots of rocks. Sometimes these rocks, like, they are up and down, they're very they're very ragged. The terrain that I'm walking down, sometimes these rocks they seep water and it can be wet. So to withstand the surface, the slippery surface, you need to have those shoes. If the surface is wet and slippery and your shoes are no good, like if the sole of the shoes, like if they cannot withstand the surface, then obviously you're gonna slip. Okay, and if you slip in a rock, like if you fell into a dip, right? If you slip and you fell into a dip, then you can imagine what kind of a mess that would be. Okay, so that's why the shoes are the most important things. And in terms of, we got an airplane flying up, and in terms of the flora and the fauna, like the reptiles, this place is the home for pretty much all sorts of animals. Okay, most of these are like, not all sorts of animals, but most of these are like, let's say, reptiles. You got different types of lizards, you got birds, obviously, and of course the snakes. Let's not forget that one. So occasionally you might come close to one of these snakes, okay? And although we, like, we are stepping into their territory, so to speak, but they are not very vicious. They are not like, like snakes are not very aggressive kind of creatures. They normally try to, go out of their way to, they are not trying to kill you, okay? They're not gonna, some snakes are obviously, they're very aggressive, but most of the snakes, they are like, if they are threatened, that's when they get aggressive, okay? Passive aggressive, so to speak. But yeah, so occasionally it can happen. So if you come close, if you happen to be in a situation where these snakes, get on your path, then the best approach is to keep calm. Because if you try to attack them, obviously they're gonna get panicked, and you never know what can come out of their situation. So for the clothing, now it's winter, obviously you should be wearing like clothing that are comfortable to the weather. That's one thing. But the other thing obviously is to protect you from the bites. Okay, so for shoes, if you have a slip resistant, like if you have like the work shoes, they are like let's say that one of these snakes, if they sink their fangs, if they sink their teeth into your leg or into the lower part of your body, then these bites are actually quite shallow. Okay, the fangs definitely not gonna penetrate into the shoes. Like your feet are completely safe. So just over the ankle and around, you'd probably be better off wearing like a layered clothing, so to speak, like a clothing that has let's say a pant, and then on top of that might be another one. So even if you get a bite, unfortunately, if you get a bite, the fangs, they are pretty much, these bites are actually quite shallow, so they're not gonna go through all the way into your skin. That's the idea. So some parts of this trail that I'm exploring now, some parts of this trail is kind of like they put some slabs, so they make it kind of flat so that you can walk. And yeah, there are some tall trees, different types of trees, and it's the early hours of the morning, so sometimes you might as well come across some of the people who are jogging, who are having their morning walks as well. So yeah, so if you think about a bushwalk, like typical bushwalk in Australia, so right now I'm here, like another area kind of cleared up, so you can see far behind me lots of trees and kind of marshland. Right behind there is the river. Further down, about 100 meters, about 50, 100, 200 meters from here, but in no way that, under no circumstances, I'm gonna get down into that water. Okay, it's like no way. You never know what's in the water. But on the surface, on the ground, it's pretty safe. Like, okay, I very rarely you'd come across one of those aggressive snakes, trying to block your way. So yeah, we are climbing up some of these rocks. Okay, so yeah, morning hours, the cool breeze is blowing. Sometimes you can hear the birds chirping at a distance. So any time of the day, if you wish, you can come here and have a walk. And that's pretty much the beauty of living in Australia. Very close to the residential places where like the high rise, the skyscrapers, the big buildings are, and pretty much right next to, we got this wonderful walk. Like, the air is pretty fresh, of course. It's free from all kinds of pollution, and yeah, it's not very dangerous as well. So, and we have to, of course, respect like this is the natural habitat of all those animals, like our animal cousins that are this place is their home. So we should act to protect those creatures. Okay, so this trail is kind of wet. Like over the last few days, there has been a few episodes of rain, and when it's rainy, sometimes this trail gets wet. But it's just a tiny small area that is wet. Most of it is dry. So yes, so right behind me there is another flat rock over here, and right behind me you can see the river. Okay, and again, under no circumstances I'm gonna get down to find out what's inside. Like, no way. Okay, so yeah, the water is not very clean either. It's very like it's muddy water. Okay, so yeah, that's a typical bushwalk in Australia. Nice and cool weather you can enjoy, and as you go past, you can see how the lights and shadows are playing out. Like, there are trees, the light is coming through. There are leaves, there are tree leaves where the sun is peeking. So this is the beauty of living in this beautiful country of Australia. Okay, and when it comes to water, okay, the only thing you should be very careful of. But actually, there are some people who are paddle, like they got a paddle boat, who are in the water, but it's probably not a very bright idea, to be honest. There's no, like, if there was dangerous creatures like crocodiles and stuff, obviously it would not be the case. So you can see there's a construction going on over here, and we are very close to the residential constructions. Okay, so this is just next to those buildings like I was talking earlier about. So very close to the locality, like the residential facilities, modern living, and right next to is you got this wonderful wild adventure. Okay, and yeah, if you are too adventurous, obviously you can take a boat, you can take a paddle boat and try inside in the water, in the river. Okay, but again, it can be a little bit risky. So that's about it. That's the typical bushwalk, typical jungle walk in Australia. Alrighty, so I hope you enjoyed, and if you like these kind of materials, let me know so that we can make more of this. And thank you for joining, and I will catch up with you on the next one. Bye for now. Hello everyone, it's me again. We are still continuing the same walk. We're just heading back the other direction. And I just want to point out one other thing is that, like, some people absolutely love nature, like I'm no exception. Okay, I definitely love to explore natural beauties. Since my childhood, like I grew up in a village, and village is my mother, is my real mother, nature. Okay, up until my year 12. Up until my year 12, my village was my best retreat. Like when I was feeling down or or I was feeling like it's too much, I was feeling overwhelmed for whatever reason, for studies or some other things, that's when I used to come down. I used to go into walk, and I have that's how I got a beautiful connection with nature. So I really enjoy having these kind of walks. And the other thing that really helps, like the walks really help, is to like when you are out in the space, then it definitely helps to relieve some of the stress, especially if you're an introvert person like me. Introverts, like they recharge when they're by themselves. I don't know if you know this. If there is too many people, if there's too many things going on, obviously that's when you get lots of stress being an introvert. So if you are an introvert, then these kind of walks can be highly beneficial for you in terms of your health, in terms of your well-being. So that's the one thing I wanted to point out. And yeah, any time of the day, you shouldn't be like a long planning. You shouldn't involve like a huge planning that, okay, I'm gonna go into a trip, I'm gonna go into a walk, and that would be for like 5 days, and after that I'll be in my home for another 6 months. That's not the case. That shouldn't be the case. Like if you have issues like stress and especially if you're an introvert, then you should do these things regularly, right? As a everyday thing. And these kind of walks, this is why I like Australia, because any time of the day you can pretty much do this. Thank you for listening, and I will catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.